As border dispute at Kalapani region has gripped the entire nation in recent days, the internal political atmosphere too has heated up, with Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli on the verge of reshuffling the cabinet with new appointments. And more political parleys in this context are scheduled for today. Good morning, I'm Amar Singh Pradhan. Let's begin with the top stories this hour. The government criticized for lack of coordination among ministries in their efforts in dealing with India to retrieve the Kalapani land. Strong steps initiated in the Nepal army to maintain transparency in the financial activities of the department. Move could pave way for interference from corruption watchdog. At least 24 Mali soldiers killed in an attack by militants in Niger border attack. Violence in eastern Mali escalates. And Nepal playing against Kuwait in the fifth match of the second round of the World Cup qualifiers. The match to kick off at 2:45 p.m. Nepal time. Let's begin with national political updates. The government expressed its disagreement to India's political map, including Nepal's Kalapani region, by issuing an official letter. The southern neighbor's move was criticized from all quarters, and the Prime Minister and Foreign Minister even expressed commitment in solving the long-standing Nepal-India border dispute through diplomatic parleys. However, lack of coordination between the departmental ministries regarding the issue has surfaced in recent time. We have a report.
There are 3 villages of Nepal towards the eastern side of the Mahakali River originating from Limpiadhura that have been missed out in the official map of Nepal. These villages, namely Kuti, Nawi and Gunji, have not been included in the maps used by government offices in Nepal and even in the maps used in schools' curriculum. The map drawn by the Nepal government more than 50 years ago does not include these villages, while it has been clearly shown within Nepal's territory in the maps published by the British Survey of India in 1827, 1835 and 1856. India has been drawing these 3 villages within its territory since 1856. On 11th of November, the Parliament's State Affairs and Good Governance Committee directed the government to issue a new map of Nepal by including these villages and many other regions that have been missed from Nepal's map. However, the Ministry of Land Reform and Management responsible for the job has yet to initiate necessary steps. Despite the urgency, spokesperson for the ministry has said the ministry is waiting for an initiation from the Prime Minister's office and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, citing the issue is political.
दुई देशको सम्बन्धसित सम्बन्धित विषय, कूटनीतिसित सम्बन्धित विषय पनि हो र यसमा विभिन्न निकायहरूको एक किसिमको जिम्मेवारी छ। सबै निकायहरूले आफ्नो भूमिकामा एकदमै गम्भीरतापूर्वक यसमा पहल, अध्ययन र गृह कार्य गरिरहेको अवस्था छ।
There is a lack of coordination between the Prime Minister's office, Home Ministry, Land and Foreign Affairs Ministry, which have a vital role to play if Nepal is to solve the long-standing border dispute with India. In order to address the issue, experts say, apart from political and diplomatic parleys, there is a need to also establish security units at the borders. However, the Home Ministry says it is awaiting for diplomatic initiatives to deploy new border security forces.
हामीले 100+ बीओपी स्थापना गर्ने हाम्रो प्रयत्न छ, गृह कार्य गरेका छौं। 100+ बीओपी को लागि हाम्रो जनशक्ति र बजेट प्राप्त भयो भने त्यो कहाँ राख्ने, यो देशको आवश्यकता सीमाना हेरेर कहाँ राख्ने भन्ने कुरा त्यसपछि निर्णय हुन्छ।
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has not been able to set a date for the much-needed secretariat-level meeting with India. This shows the lack of initiatives and coordination between departmental ministries on resolving the border dispute.
Corruption watchdog and the government have very rarely instigated investigations on incumbent army officials charged of financial irregularities. Despite having the authority, the Commission for the Investigation of Abuse of Authority has not dared to initiate investigation on the wealth of retired army officers. Given the scenario, the incumbent Chief of Army Staff, Purna Chand Thapa, has taken a strong step to maintain transparency in the financial activities of the Nepal Army. We have a report.
The government had handed over the Kathmandu-Tarai fast-track project, a national pride project worth 175 billion rupees, to the Nepal Army 2 years back. However, following allegations of financial irregularities, Chief of Army Staff Purna Chandra Thapa drew the concerned officers into investigations. It may be recalled that the draft for the criteria prepared to call for proposals for a foreign consultant for the Kathmandu-Tarai fast-track project had been leaked to a private company. Following this incident, Thapa had even ordered for an investigation on former Major General Yogendra Khand, who had also worked as the project chief. The army was also directed to prepare for a new criteria to call for a foreign consultant. The army received applications from 22 companies from India, China, the United States, Korea and England among other countries, which is currently being evaluated. In a bid to control corruption within the organization, Chief of Army Staff Thapa also dismissed over 200 army staff. Those dismissed included 3 majors and 27 army officers. The army court also sent a lieutenant colonel to prison for budget irregularity. The Nepal Army now has a separate unit to look after financial irregularities and maintain transparency. The Nepal Army receives a total budget of 100 billion rupees from the government and its own welfare fund every year.
And a short break here. For more news, do stay with us. And time now for international update. Mali's army has said that 24 soldiers have been killed in an attack by militants in eastern Mali. Another 29 were also injured during a joint operation between troops from Mali and Niger in the Gao border region. Mali's army said 17 terrorists were killed and 100 suspects were being held in Tiloa in Niger. Details of Monday's attack are unclear and authorities have not identified what group the assailants belong to. Mali has suffered violence since 2012 when Islamist militants exploited a Tuareg separatist uprising, seizing several key cities. With help from France, its former European ruler, Malian forces regained control of territory lost to jihadis. In recent months, Mali's military has abandoned several outposts. Islamist violence has also spread to other countries in the region, fueled by ethnic tensions. According to the UN, more than 1,500 civilians have been killed in Mali and Burkina Faso since January, with millions more in need of humanitarian assistance. A 1,500-strong UN peacekeeping force is currently stationed in Mali. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked the locals in Sangkhwa Sabha why have people stopped approaching judicial committees to resolve disputes. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Public Voice. न्यायिक समितिले दिने निर्णय चाहिँ विन विन सिचुएसनमा अथवा जितै जितको स्थितिमा पुर्याउँछ है उहाँहरुको सम्बन्ध सुधारको कुरालाई बढ्ता जोड दिन्छ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ समुदायलाई बुझाइको कमीको कारणले उहाँहरु प्रहरी प्रशासनमा जादै हुनुहुन्छ
अलिक बुझागडहरुले पनि यो राम्रो बुझेको चाहिँ मलाई पनि लागेको छैन न्यायिक समितिले के गर्छ भन्ने कुरा नै राम्रो नबुझेर पनि हो
पुलिस भने पछाडी अलिक सिधै डराउने हाम्रो छ नि त सिस्टम पहिलेदेखिकै त्यसकारणले गर्दाखेरि यो न्यायिक समितितिर नगएर चाहिँ सिधै प्रहरी प्रशासनमा जाने कारण चाहिँ यो हो
एउटा कम खर्चिलो छिटै न्याय पाइने भएकोले पनि हामी पुलिस प्रशासनमा गएको अनुभव मलाई लागेको छ
And more news coming up, but right now it's time for another short break. Public Pulse, where it texters with their opinion.
Public Pulse.
What's your take on the government spending the money collected to support troubled migrant workers abroad on facilities for government officials? Lack of morality, B. Habitual act, C. Result of lack of actions. The voting is on. Type any WS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time for sports update.
Sports news.
Nepal is playing against Kuwait in the 5th match of the second round of the Football World Cup qualifiers. The match is scheduled to kick off at Changli Mathang ground in Thimphu, Bhutan at 2:45 p.m. Nepal time today. The venue of Nepal's home match was shifted to Bhutan after the Dasarath Stadium in the capital was not ready to host the match due to ongoing repair works. In the pre-match conference held yesterday, coach of Team Nepal, Johan Kalin, stated that the team was prepared to perform well. In the prior match played at Kuwait's home ground, Nepal had suffered a humiliating 7-0 loss against Kuwait. Nepal is in the 4th spot of the qualifiers with 1 win and 3 losses, while Kuwait is in the 2nd spot with 2 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw. Undefeated Australia is at the top, while Jordan is in the 3rd spot and Chinese Taipei is at the bottom without any points. And now time for our special segment, Sports Buzz.
Indian cricket legend Sachin Tendulkar played an exhibition match this Saturday at Kathmandu's TU ground. Popularly nicknamed as Master Blaster and God of Indian cricket, Sachin Tendulkar had come to Nepal as part of a UNICEF program to safeguard child rights. The exhibition match was hosted on the occasion of the 30th anniversary of the Convention on Rights of the Children. Sachin, who is the Goodwill Ambassador of the UNICEF, led one of the teams, while the other team was led by Nepal's former skipper, Binod Das. Well, the outcome of the match was a foregone conclusion. Sachin's blue team won the match by 9 wickets. Meanwhile, Sachin himself was full of praise for the hospitality he received from the cricket enthusiasts in Nepal.
Binod Das, former cricket captain of Nepal. I also see the Nepal national team, women's team. Welcome to all of you. Today's experience has been truly special for me. I had a great time. What about you guys? Tapai harulai ramro layo?
And a look at the top stories one more time. The government criticized for lack of coordination among ministries in their efforts in dealing with India to retrieve the Kalapani land. Strong steps initiated in the Nepal army to maintain transparency in the financial activities of the department move could pave way for interference from corruption watchdog. At least 24 Mali soldiers killed in an attack by militants in Niger border attack. Violence in eastern Mali escalates. And Nepal playing against Kuwait in the 5th match of the 2nd round of the World Cup qualifiers. The match to kick off at 2:45 p.m. Nepal time. And those were our latest headlines. Our next English bulletin will air at 11 a.m. Stay with us for more news and entertainment on KTVSD. Good day.